going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you all doing? And as mentioned in my community post, I wanted to do this last minute horror review that I decided to add as part of the horror month kind of thing. And this month, I'm decided to throw in a Dracula movie, but not just any Dracula movie. This is the Nosferatu remake. It came out in 1979, and it's a remake, of course, the classic silent film that came out in 1922, the thick of the German Expressionist era. Well, I'm going to give you a quick little history lesson before we get back onto the main track. So, Nosferatu was originally going to be called Dracula, but to avoid a lawsuit from Universal, the title was changed to Nosferatu. Nosferatu also stands for plague carrier, if you haven't thought about that. And of course, all the characters were changed their names. So instead of Count Dracula was Count Orlok, and instead of Harker, it was Hutter, and it can go on and on. Also, there was no character Mina, even though there's a Lucy, but the characters treated it like the character Mina, if that makes sense. So yeah, and they actually kept this kind of template into the talkie version, and also another interesting thing is that this is one of the few silent movies that ever got the talkie remake. The R2 being The Unholy Three, which was a movie that featured Lon Chaney Sr. That came out in 1925 and 1930, respectively. And this was the first movie to feature both Lon Chaney Sr. in both versions. So, yeah. However, the sad thing is, The Unholy Three talkie remake would be Lon Chaney Sr.'s last movie, as he would pass away just shortly after that movie got released. So, it's a damn shame. And of course, the other one would be The Great Train Robbery, a classic movie that came out in like the early 1900s. Didn't get a remake until 1978, a year before Nosferatu the remake came out, which is insane. And that featured the legendary Sean Connery. So yeah, little history there. Bet you all didn't know that. But I would say if you want to go off and find all those movies, you can. But what about Nosferatu? How's the talkie remake pan out? Well, I will say, I felt like I would say it's a bit of a mixed bag, mixed emotions. I would say it does definitely fit take the templates and take elements from the original silent movie and bring it to the talkie version. My one problem is I think the pacing's a little off weird. Also, there's some very questionable music choices, like for instance, the opening credits sequence, like after we've seen all these stack images of all these dead and decayed bodies and the vampiric sight of a skull and bats and all this, and you realize, it was a nightmare that Lucy was having, and then like immediately after that, it goes into this nice cheerful good morning like soundtrack. It just feels so out of place, and they play something similar like that while Jonathan Harker's traveling to Transylvania. It just feels weird. It just feels odd. It doesn't feel menacing and calm. But I think they were trying to go for, it's the calm before the storm kind of thing. So they're trying to set the scene before the mood starts to change. Like as soon as we get to the castle, and then and when he meets Count Dracula, and then all that happens. But the rest of it kind of feels odd with those music choices. But other than that, the cast, I would say, did their job. And of course, this is a mostly foreign cast. I didn't recognize anyone except for one man, Klaus Kinski. Klaus Kinski, believe it or not, played Renfield in the Franco version 9 years earlier. Here, he had been promoted from Renfield to our main villain in Dracula. And I think he did a fantastic job. And if I had to come up with the debate of who wore it better or did better between Klaus Kinski and Willem Dafoe to bring the character of Count Orlok, Max Shrek / Dracula to life. That I'll get to that in a sec. Man, I think they both nailed it out of the park. I have no idea what they did, great makeup job and visual effects or whatnot, prosthetics. Anyway, they completely transformed into this iconic character that you probably have seen all those years ago. Okay, the plague carrier, the gaunt face and someone kind of bat, and it's pretty damn unique how they pulled it all off. I really enjoyed how it did, and really cool and also really interesting creative liberty that did here. This is probably probably the only version that I know where Jonathan Harker actually becomes a vampire. And I was like, damn, that's intense stuff. I was like, good, all right, you won me over there, movie, pretty cool. But as for other things that I kind of picked up throughout the movie, I felt like, they really did borrow elements from both the book, following the template from the original silent version. However, there's no plate that really just takes out a whole town like that happened in the silent version. And besides the aforementioned Harker becoming a vampire, nothing else seems kind of special. But I will admit that the death of Orlok, just like the same thing that happened in the original silent version, like he gets hit by sunlight, and like it's a little over dramatic how Klaus Kinski just plays it out, but it was cheesy nonetheless. And then he gets staked off screen. I'm like, wait a minute, come on, why couldn't you just keep the camera on him? That would have been better. But then again, God knows he wanted to show us staking in a movie, but who knows? I have no idea what the plan was or whatnot. But at least all these elements kind of made for a good remake. But I'm going to say this right now. Do I prefer it over the Franco or the Langella version? It's up for debate, but I will say, even though it came out the same year as the Langella version, I would definitely prefer this over the Langella version. Now, of course, you've heard me talk about that. Like, man, it just took me out of it. I didn't really particularly like that version. It was definitely the weakest. If I had to rank, I would definitely rank this higher than that, but not as good as the Franco and or the Coppola versions or anything like that. But yeah, this movie definitely had something going for it. If again, like paying homage to that bygone era, many moons earlier. And I still think this remake kind of holds up, though I feel like some people are going to say, I think it's time for another remake. No. If you want to, I'd say proceed with caution. I don't know, okay? I feel weird out, okay? I'm starting to feel like the old guy that prefers, hey, I prefer the silent version. And like I mentioned earlier, like if you've never gone for the silent version, you're in for a treat. Go find the original silent version and maybe see if you can find like the original soundtrack or something like that. I think you will really enjoy that and get yourself immersed into a bygone era that's not no longer around, and it's a sad thing to think about. But I'm getting a little off track. I digress. For a remake of a silent film, this movie gets. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I was gonna rate it a little higher, but like I said, just the pacing's a little off for me. A couple of interesting musical choices and some things that kind of didn't add up for me. That kind of brings the score down, but I would still say it's slight. In my opinion, I definitely rank this better over the Langella version. Okay, so that does for today. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up the video, subscribe to my channel. Stick to for some more awesome and exciting content.